It's time for your Stanley Security Solutions Locker Talk.
How do you get more time with these guys? You try to find more time out of practice to get one-on-one with some of these wide receivers?
I think in theory that's what you would say, but this is also you don't want to run these guys on the ground. Just like I said, the first ball I ever threw to Zach Pascal the other day was the 17-yard ball on the sideline, I think. So I mean, when it gets to a point you're playing football out there and you have to throw and react, and as long as you know what they're supposed to be doing, then you have a general idea of where to throw the ball.
You went with so many offenses. How do you keep this one separate from all that other information you've processed?
I think for me, it's like anything. There's always one offense that you're always going to revert back to when you're learning stuff and comparing it to those things, and then you kind of just grow off of that and say, this play and that offense, we call it this way, we call it here a different word, but I know how to run that play, if that makes sense. It's kind of like learning languages, really. Like Spanish and Italian are probably very similar. So if one offense is Spanish and one's Italian, there's some common ground, some things that are a little similar, and then you just go from there.
With Brian Flores coming from New England, does that help you at all this week, you think?
Not really, because the only thing that I've ever done is prepare for the New England offense for me to be ready to play that. I mean, obviously, I've answered some questions about being scout team, but I'm not really studying my own team's defense, so I don't really see that as an advantage. It'd be more, I'd have a better advantage helping our defense go against their offense, I think.
How helpful was it to have Jacoby in your ear? Last week we saw you several times on the sideline together.
Yeah, it was great because, like I said, even though I've played longer, this is my 11th year, like I'm learning from him about this offense, and so any questions I had about plays in the game, I was asking him and just kind of going over with him. He's a great teammate.
Your head coach mentioned that he probably has the greatest appreciation for the situation that you were thrust into of anybody. How beneficial is it to have Frank knowing that situation so well, knowing what you were thrust into, and being able to provide that perspective that he has?
Yeah, it's great, I think, and we've talked about this before, just knowing his career and being in the position that he's in. I think there's a lot that we can relate to, and we have conversations about that since I've been here, really. So to be put in that situation, I know he knows exactly what I'm going through, where I'm at with all those things, and it's been super beneficial to have him there.
How do you not overlook the Dolphins team?
This is the NFL. I mean, for me, if I do play, like, this is the first time I'm starting since 2017. Like, this is the most important game for me right now, and I think you could call it cliche, but literally, through 11 years, I realized, like, everybody's beatable on Sundays. It doesn't matter who you are. It doesn't matter who you play. If you don't come to play, the other team, they're getting paid too, and their record might be what it is, but when you watch the film, you rarely ever see a team in the NFL where you're like, they're NFL players. They're NFL coaches. Brian Flores is an incredible coach. I've known him since my rookie year. I was away from him, and then I came back to see him as a defensive coordinator. I know that their offensive staff is and their scheme. So it doesn't matter, what someone's record is. If you overlook anybody in the NFL, they're going to make you pay for it.
Okay.
All right, thanks, guys.
Thank you.